One thing that has remained constant through all my years of studying leadership is this: leader behavior has always mattered. Now, long before artificial intelligence entered our vocabulary, research had already proven that fact. At Harvard, the Haymaker study in the 1970s demonstrated that up to 70% of the organization's working climate is directly influenced by the leader's behavior. The logic is simple yet profound. We all know that organizational results are driven by employee performance, even more so in today's knowledge based world. But employee performance, in turn, is shaped by how people feel about being part of the organization, what management science calls as organizational climate. And what determines that feeling? In most cases, it is the way their immediate leader or manager behaves. For employees, the first level leader is the face of the organization, the person through whom they experience its values, fairness, and culture. Of course, a leader's behavior itself is influenced by many factors: personality, values, situational context, etc. But the research was clear. Leader behavior accounts for up to 70% of how employees feel about their workplace. The same study also found that those feelings, the feelings of the employee, the climate, explain about 30% of the employee performance. And so the combined math is compelling. All else being equal, let's say compensation, policies, or benefits, etc., being equal, a single leader can achieve up to 21% higher performance from the same team simply by focusing on one variable: their own behavior. In this case, your own behavior. My own 2025 Fortune 100 research confirms that this principle still holds true today. Because the way we listen, empower, and respond under pressure shapes how people feel at work every single day. And that in turn influences their commitment and performance. When leaders create a climate of trust, clarity, and care, teams flourish. When that climate erodes, engagement, creativity, and loyalty decline. Now, in the AI era, behavior isn't just a driver of performance. It shapes the culture, entire culture of an organization. It's the bridge between empathy and intelligence, the very heart of servant leadership. In the AI era, behavior shapes something even larger than the human climate. The leader behavior shapes the moral climate of technology itself. That's why, as leaders, we must practice intentional change in behavior, intentional change. Change that aligns how we act with what we believe and the kind of world we want technology to create. Through that lens, I have redefined what servant leadership means for our times. My new definition goes like this: servant leadership is the intentional use of influence and intelligence, both human and artificial, to help others grow beyond themselves, creating impact that uplifts people, organizations, and society. That is the essence of the Spark pathway, helping leaders become servant-hearted in purpose, grounding their behavior in empathy and meaning, AI ready in mindset, guiding technology with ethics and discernment, resilient in behavior, steady and compassionate amid disruption, and knowledge driven in impact, using learning to empower others to grow. Behavior is the bridge across all these four elements of Spark. It is how values become visible. So to summarize, yes, leader behaviors has always been important. The Haymaker study proved it then. My Fortune 100 research confirms it now. And through Spark, we are taking the truth forward from awareness to action, from insight to impact. Because when we change our behavior intentionally, we don't just change ourselves, we ignite transformation in everyone around us. That is the power of Spark leadership.